Thank you so much for responding. But I'm going to actually first go to your last comment referring to me as angry. What about that video led you to believe that I was angry? Was it my questioning? Was it my tone? Because nothing about that was even close to an angry emotion. Kids being shot at school, now that makes me angry. But you having some initial thoughts about your experience in the Agile community does not upset me whatsoever. And in fact, in my last video, I was asking more questions because my approach is always to learn more context before giving any type of conclusion. And even when I don't agree with someone, that doesn't mean that your point of view is invalid. So let's go through it. You said that Agile broke your heart and that it was sold as inclusive and was anything but that, and leading to your original point of view of it being greedy, you said that it means an industry that has profited off of selling certifications and any type of certification. And on that note, I will agree and disagree with you. There are still companies that are hiring for Agile coaches, Scrum Masters, Agile delivery leads, product owners. And for that case, there are people that may want to pursue those career opportunities and want to pursue a certification that either one will help them determine whether that's the route that they want to go, or it will actually position them to get their foot in the door. Secondary, there are people that were not actively pursuing these roles and were voluntold to be put in that role, or have an opportunity to step into an Agile role that they don't know much about. And so therefore, they also are going to potentially pursue certifications for their own knowledge or their own credibility. For those use cases, it is completely still valid for people that were trained to deliver certifications to still lead those trainings. Now, with that being said, we know that there is a large discrepancy between the companies that are hiring and the people that are looking to be hired. And getting these certifications are not necessarily leading people any closer to landing their next job, even with experience. And for that, I'm completely aligned with you that we need to bridge that gap before we can continue expanding certification opportunities. And I do think it is on the onus of the people that are delivering certifications to help bridge that gap, to partner with different companies so that when people get a certification and they have other skills and experience, that it is easier for them to use that certification for their benefit. And you may not know this, but my role was actually eliminated earlier this year. And it was actually the third time that has happened in my career. Finally, regarding your comment about me knowing full well the industry isn't what it was, but full of arguments. Technicality here, Agile is not an industry. Agile is a mindset, and there are principles and a manifesto to go along with it. But it is more of a community of roles, of different careers. Industries are such as medical, education, construction, arts. Those are industries that Agile roles work in. Regarding being full of arguments, I will argue that Agile and Scrum work because I use it. And for a long time, it was being used as buzzwords, and people were hiring those roles because somebody else was doing it, not because it was actually trying to solve their real-world problems. The companies that use Agile and Scrum to solve their real-world problems, such as if I go and say, why Agile, and they can name their top 3 challenges of what traditional project management wasn't solving for them, those companies are likely still using Agile and Scrum in some format. And they likely value innovation, and they likely value human connection, which is what Agile and Scrum is all about. And again, I use Scrum myself. I have a personal instance of Jira where I manage my whole life, my personal life and my business through Jira using 1-week sprints at home. And I have for multiple years. I will apologize if you feel like I was arguing against you and your lived experience, That's not what I'm arguing. My argument is that Agile and Scrum works when it is used well.